In 1954, an 18-year-old college kid took a low-paying job unloading heavy mattresses in an old warehouse, earning just $1.25 an hour. 30 years later, that same clerk created a retail empire so brutally efficient that even the world's richest investors were terrified of competing against it. Yet almost every modern business school taught that his model was guaranteed to fail. He refused to advertise. He capped his own profits. He paid his workers double the industry average, and he literally forced his customers to pay him an entrance fee, just to walk inside a dusty, concrete warehouse and buy products in giant boxes. Wall Street begged him to raise his prices. Analysts predicted immediate bankruptcy. Instead, Jim Sinegal turned that bizarre concept into Costco, a multi-billion-dollar retail titan that generates tens of billions in cash every single quarter. How did an ordinary warehouse worker uncover the single most powerful retail secret on Earth? And what hidden economic mechanism did he build? That makes it almost mathematically impossible for competitors to beat him. To understand the genius of Costco, you have to rewind to the moment Jim Sinegal first stepped onto a loading dock in San Diego. He was not born into wealth. He was the son of a coal miner and steelworker, an ordinary young man who simply needed money to pay his tuition at San Diego State University. His job was brutal: stacking furniture, moving heavy boxes, and enduring the backbreaking daily grind of wholesale distribution. He had no grand vision of building a global empire. He just wanted a steady paycheck. Then, something happened that changed his life forever. He crossed paths with a radical, eccentric retail pioneer named Saul Price. Saul had just opened a revolutionary business called FedMart, an austere, bare-bones store designed specifically for government employees. While every traditional American retailer was spending fortunes on carpeted floors, fancy signs, and massive marketing campaigns, Saul did the exact opposite. He stripped away every single luxury. No expensive displays, no glossy packaging, just pure concrete floors, wooden pallets, and rock-bottom prices. Jim watched closely, and as he moved up from unloading trucks to managing inventory, he noticed a terrifying truth about human psychology. Customers did not care about fancy decorations. They only cared about absolute, undeniable value. For 2 decades, Jim absorbed every operational detail from Saul Price. He learned how to negotiate ruthlessly with massive suppliers. He learned the exact mathematics of inventory velocity. And he learned why speed on the warehouse floor matters more than profit margin on the price tag. By the late 1970s, Saul created another radical experiment: Price Club. It was the true birth of the warehouse membership club. And Jim Sinegal was right in the middle of it, running operations, solving daily logistics nightmares, and seeing the future of American commerce before anyone else. Yet right when the concept began to explode, corporate tension hit. New owners took over, strategies shifted, and Jim found himself on the outside. He was in his late 40s, an age when most corporate executives seek safety and prepare for retirement. Jim chose the exact opposite. He chose absolute, terrifying risk. He partnered with a sharp Seattle retail attorney and investor named Jeff Brotman. Their mission sounded simple on paper, but utterly suicidal in reality. They decided to launch an entirely new warehouse club from scratch and place its first location directly in Seattle, right into the teeth of established retail giants. In September 1983, the very first Costco opened its doors. It was an unpolished, cavernous building with bare steel rafters and forklifts driving right through the aisles. Shoppers walked in, and they were totally confused. Why was peanut butter sold in 5-pound tubs? Why did you have to buy a crate of toilet paper instead of a single roll? More importantly, why on earth should an ordinary family pay $25 a year just for the privilege of shopping there? In the first few months, the tension inside Costco was suffocating. Cash was burning at an alarming rate. Payroll had to be met. The inventory was sitting on wooden pallets. And if customers refused to pay that annual membership fee, the entire venture would collapse within weeks. That was the exact moment Jim made the most critical gamble of his life. instead of panic pricing or chasing high markups to save his balance sheet. He instituted an unbreakable rule. No product in the warehouse would ever be marked up more than 14%, not 15, not 20. 14% maximum. To put that in perspective, traditional supermarkets were marking up goods by 25 to 30%. Department stores regularly slapped 50% markups on their shelves. Jim's investors thought he had lost his mind. They argued, "Jim, if customers are buying this product rapidly, raise the price by 3%. They will never notice, and we will make millions in pure profit overnight." Jim looked them dead in the eye and said, "No, if we raise it, we are stealing from the customer's trust. Once you start doing that, it's like a drug, you can never stop." That single psychological decision unlocked the first secret engine of Costco's growth. Customers realized that Costco was not trying to squeeze every cent out of their pockets. Costco was acting as their private buying agent. Word spread like wildfire. Neighbors told neighbors. Small business owners told other restaurant operators. People were not just shopping. They were treating their Costco membership cards like golden tickets. Yet beneath this customer loyalty lay an even deeper operational masterstroke, something that economists call the negative cash conversion cycle. And this is where Jim Sinegal proved he was a strategic genius. A normal retail store buys thousands of different items, often stocking over 40,000 unique products. Those items sit on shelves for months, gathering dust, tying up valuable cash, and requiring expensive storage. Jim did the unthinkable. He slashed the selection down to just 4,000 items, instead of offering 20 different brands of ketchup. Costco offered only 2, the market leader and their own ultra-high-quality private label. Because Costco only sold 2 brands, they bought massive, astronomical volumes of each. Jim went directly to the manufacturers with an offer they could not refuse. "We will buy entire trainloads of your product, but you must give us the lowest price on the planet." Manufacturers had no choice but to comply. Then came the magic trick. Because Costco sold products in bulk, that inventory flew off the concrete floor in less than 30 days. Sometimes within 2 weeks, Costco sold the goods, collected the customer's cash instantly at the register, and did not have to pay the supplier for 60 or 90 days. Do you see what that means? Costco was effectively using the supplier's money to finance its own rapid expansion. Completely interest-free, the business was not just growing, it was turning into an unstoppable freight train of pure liquidity. By the 1990s, competitors were terrified. Walmart launched Sam's Club with the full financial backing of the Walton Empire. Price Club was still fighting for market dominance. A brutal price war exploded across the continent. Jim knew that if Costco stumbled for even a single quarter, the giants would swallow them whole. So in 1993, Jim pulled off an extraordinary chess move. He merged Costco with his old mentor's company, Price Club. It was an emotional and strategic reunion. Together, they formed a powerhouse that commanded unprecedented negotiating leverage across global supply chains. Eventually, the combined company streamlined operations under a single banner, Costco Wholesale. Jim was now the chief executive of a global retail powerhouse. Yet, his personal behavior shocked everyone on Wall Street. He didn't have a private corner office with mahogany desks and private elevators. His desk was right in the middle of an open floor. Anyone could walk up to him. His phone number was listed in the public directory, and he answered it himself. He wore a simple, short-sleeved shirt with a $10 name tag that simply read, Jim. He spent 200 days a year flying on commercial airlines, walking through warehouse aisles, touching the products, and talking directly to the forklift drivers. When Wall Street analysts pressured him to cut healthcare benefits and lower employee wages to boost quarterly stock earnings, Jim flatly refused. He openly declared, "Paying good wages and keeping your people is just good business." While the retail industry suffered from catastrophic employee turnover rates above 50%, Costco's turnover plummeted below 6% for long-term workers. His workers were loyal, fast, and protective of the company. Shrinkage and theft, The silent killer of retail margins was virtually non-existent at Costco. And then, Jim revealed the ultimate core of the Costco business model, the hidden strategy that almost nobody understands until they look at the balance sheet. Costco does not make its profit from selling merchandise. Costco sells food, electronics, tires, and clothing practically at cost, just to break even on operations. Almost 100% of Costco's net profit comes from one single line item, the annual membership fees. Every year, over 100 million people willingly pay their annual fee. And the renewal rate? An astonishing, jaw-dropping 93%. That membership fee is pure, predictable, recurring cash flow. It functions like an elite subscription software company, disguised inside a gritty brick-and-mortar warehouse. That is why Jim could famously sell that iconic hot dog and soda combo for $1.50 for 4 decades straight, without ever raising the price by a single penny. When a later executive suggested raising the hot dog price to save margins, Jim famously told him that if he touched that price, it would destroy the psychological promise Costco made to its members. Costco built their own hot dog manufacturing plants just to keep that price at $1.50, turning a simple snack into the ultimate symbol of permanent consumer trust. Today, Costco generates hundreds of billions of dollars in annual revenue, operating hundreds of massive warehouses across the globe. Legendary investor Charlie Munger once said that he loved Costco so much, he wished every business in America was run with the same integrity. When Jim Sinegal finally stepped down as chief executive in 2012, he had built one of the greatest fortunes and retail empires in modern human history. He didn't achieve it by exploiting his workforce, cheating his suppliers, or gouging his customers during hard times. He built it on an unshakable, simple moral foundation: respect the customer's wallet, treat the worker with dignity, strip away all unnecessary arrogance, and relentlessly pass every single penny of savings back to the people who trust you. The poor warehouse clerk who once unloaded mattresses for $1.25 an hour did not just build a company. He proved to the entire corporate world that unyielding integrity and extreme business success